Hi everyone. So as we are in the depths of January now, and we're coming into probably the coldest month of the year, usually January, February, and even into March can be really bitterly cold in Britain. And we are in the mountainous area of Wales as we make this video. We thought we would address a question that every narrowboater is going to be asked at some time, which is
sooner or later.
Yeah, how do you stay warm on a narrowboat?
Keep your windows open.
The stock answer is, well, it's not cold on a narrowboat. You know, we have a nice heater and we stay nice and toasty. And as Carol said, we even have to open the windows. It's really common to hear narrowboaters saying that. But there is a little bit more to it. So we thought today we'd cover that in a little bit more detail.
Maybe start from scratch?
Yeah, starting from scratch. You have to start with the basics, and the basics are that your boat has to be well insulated. Right, if it's poorly insulated, a few things happen. You'll get transmission of cold, but you'll also get problems with condensation building up and running down into the bilges.
And that's a no-no.
That's definitely a no-no. That can cause corrosion from the inside of the boat and also can create dampness inside the boat, which you definitely don't want. So Liberty, which was built in 2004, has spray foam insulation.
Which is excellent because you can just spray that directly all over the inside of the boat next to the steel hull. And it doesn't take up a whole lot of space, and it's really, really good in terms of insulation.
Yeah, it is good in terms of insulation, and that's going to help you in the summer as well as in the winter.
In the summertime, when it was extremely hot, I could touch the side of the boat inside here, and it wasn't hot. Whereas the back door, which is steel, was just, you could cook an egg on it.
Yeah. Well, it's vertical, so the egg would keep sliding off. So we didn't actually cook an egg on it. There are alternative types of insulation. So there's things like polystyrene sheeting, which needs to be cut to size. Got to be careful with some of the sheeting insulation because you can get condensation building up behind it. Another issue potentially with polystyrene is that it can leach plasticizers from any cabling, electrical cabling that comes into contact with it. So that can cause that cabling, the sheath on that cabling, to become quite brittle. And that can lead to a range of hazards, including loss of power or even a fire.
It's quite shocking, isn't it?
Don't give up your day job, Carol. There is another type of insulation that's quite widely used, and that's rock wool sheets. Literally a fibre made out of rock.
Similar to fiberglass.
Yeah, it's very like fiberglass and extremely fire retardant. But again, just like fiberglass, needs to be very carefully fitted. Overall, if you have the option, then probably blown insulation, the spray foam insulation is the way to go.
The best way.
That's the way to go.
Or the easiest.
Yeah.
Curtains. Especially if they're lined, they're quite good for keeping the air warmer in the boat because it's not constantly hitting the cooler panes of glass. We have bus windows, 5 of them in the main part of the boat. Ours are single pane, which are fine. We haven't had any problems with them. They do tend to steam up overnight. I try to get him not to breathe when we're sleeping, but it's just a hopeless cause.
Yeah, you do get some condensation on the frames mainly, not so much on the glass because we have our windows open in the night. You get a little bit behind the portholes where we use kind of bungs, and I think that has an effect. We do get some condensation building up there, but nothing major.
Double glazed windows tends to help with soundproofing. That's probably very good if you're in a town or a city and you want it to be extra quiet or by a road. But we tend to moor up in very quiet spots, so we haven't really missed not having double glazing.
When you're looking at the cost of installing these things afterwards, you've also got to think of the relative benefit. And being able to wipe over your windows with a good cloth, you know, if you get condensation, is a heck of a lot cheaper than spending thousands of pounds on replacing all of our windows with double glazed units.
Yeah, probably $2,500 just for the windows, not to mention the
I think
installation.
That's just for the 5 windows. That doesn't include things like the portholes.
So I think we'll pass on that.
Yeah, I think so. I can think of better ways to spend, you know, thousands of pounds, like new batteries.
I was hoping he was going to take me somewhere really neat.
No, it's not going to happen.
figures.
We have a boat.
Some people use squeegees to clean the condensation off their windows, but I use these Norwex cloths. A dear friend gave me these. The gray one cleans with water, and the purple one removes the water, and it polishes the glass, and it doesn't leave streaks. The other thing that we do to address damp in a boat is we use these little dooflinkies. They have salt. You put the salt, it's a salt-like substance, crystal substance, inside, and it eventually turns to water. And you can see in this one that there is some liquid. And what you do is you empty that somewhere safe. You wouldn't put that in the canal. And then you refill the top part with some more crystals. And that really does help to absorb any damp under cabinets, under the dinette, under our bed, anywhere where you might not get a lot of airflow.
The floor that you're walking on in a narrowboat is below water level.
Yeah.
It's why Tilly likes to lie on
She loves
on the bare parts of the floor rather than on rugs or anything like that. She loves that cool. She's always been like that.
She
hasn't
always
she?
has. The other thing too is a lot of narrowboaters will put down a carpet with padding underneath, and that helps to insulate the floor quite a bit. We just put down some luxury vinyl flooring planks, that interlocked, and they came with a backing on them already, and we just put that on directly over top of the marine ply, and it's been very comfortable. It's been very comfortable.
Yeah, it has made a difference, I think, in terms of warmth underfoot. I wouldn't say it's warm,
but I wouldn't say it's cold either.
I mean,
it's cool. The other thing that you might want to consider doing when the weather starts to get cooler is just checking around your doors like you would in a house, and doing any kind of insulating around the doors to make sure that you don't have any drafts. One of the other things that we do is we have a door curtain, just like you do in a house. So that also helps to keep any drafts down.
There are various types. There's a wood burning stove, so as the name implies, you just burn wood on that. Then there is the multi-fuel stove, which is the type that we have. We have a Morso Squirrel. I think ours puts out something like 5 kilowatts maximum.
Puts out good heat.
It does put out really good heat, and even though it's just at one end of the boat, that heat will travel down the whole length of the boat, no problem at all. You're heating really quite a small tube. So if you've got a good source of heat down one end, eventually it's going to get down to the other end of that tube. It's definitely cooler at the back end of the boat than it is at the front near the stoves. No doubt about that. That suits us because that's where in the cooler end is where our bedroom is.
And we even have like a curtain hanging between the bedroom and the hallway so that I can close it at night and just keep it cool back there, because we both prefer a really cool bedroom.
Yeah. The multi-fuel stove, as the name implies, it will burn wood, burn coals, so you can pretty much throw anything onto it, subject to restrictions in the area where you happen to be operating. I actually find that if you're burning wood, it seems to burn much hotter in general than if you're burning coal. We can bank it up in the night and it will still be glowing red in the morning.
Which is nice.
It's nice.
You can just start it back up again.
Yeah, it means that the boat doesn't cool down too much overnight. You get a kind of manageable temperature.
Some people prefer a diesel stove. You can leave it on 24 hours a day, and it just keeps the boat constantly warm.
They've become really quite popular. There's a few narrowboat vlogs that show the installation and the use of those. They look very pristine, and they probably do run a lot cleaner than the multi-fuel and the wood burning stoves.
I'll put a link in the description. There's a really good article that shows you all the different types of stoves that are typically used in a narrowboat.
The boat came with a multi-fuel stove, so we've stuck with that, and I think that's how a lot of people are. Whatever you buy the boat with, that's what you're going to live with. The advantage of the multi-fuel is its flexibility over what you can burn in it. And with a diesel stove, there's no flexibility. If you run out of diesel, you run out of heat. It's that simple. You can't suddenly say, well, I'm going to put some wood in there. So that's something to bear in mind. Liberty is fitted with what's called a Webasto system. There's also a similar system called an Eberspatcher, and these again are quite widely found, where you'll see radiators on the boats, and they have just very simple burning and pump mechanism that allows it to heat the water and send it around the radiators, just the same as in a
And
a
the
house.
advantage too is that they've got thermostats, and you can actually, I think some
And you
of them
can
are like
program
7
them.
days. Yeah, so you
Yeah.
can program them to come on and off when you want it heated.
Yeah, we programmed ours never to come on. Well, we just...
Literally.
The only time we've ever really used our central heating system was when our multi-fuel stove broke down.
And then we had to.
So you can see that there are benefits in having both systems installed, definitely.
Some of the stoves, the wood-burning stoves or multi-fuel stoves, actually have back boilers on them like you do see in some of the houses. And
Yeah.
I've seen them both run to radiators, but I also saw a really cool one where the lady used copper pipes down the side of her boat under the gunnels, and it was really pretty, and it actually, the pipes just heated the boat without
Yeah.
radiators, so it was
Yeah.
quite effective. Of course, another way that we keep warm is clothing, and we didn't have to really make any investments when we moved on the boat because we had done a lot of hiking up in the fells before we purchased Liberty. So a lot of the clothes that we use is really outdoor clothing that you would find in a lot of the places that sell outdoor clothing, hiking gear. Sorry.
So on a cold winter's day, you don't really, although you probably could sit around in a t-shirt and shorts, you don't necessarily want to go out like that. So we tend to wear just reasonable indoor outdoor clothes and just throw a jacket on, and then we can take the dog out.
We don't have a lot of wardrobe space. We have some drawers under the bed and a very small wardrobe. So we tend to just keep things like t-shirts and jeans, some outdoor tops like I'm wearing, a couple of jackets, one waterproof and maybe one just to keep you warm, some hiking boots, some wellies, underclothes, of course. We don't have a lot. I think you have like a couple of nice outfits for if you have to go in the office, and I think I keep a black dress in case we're going to go out somewhere nice, but no sequins or velvet. We tend to keep a couple of sets. Just if we've got company, we have an extra set. So we have a duvet. I would say it's mid-weight. We also have a quilt, an Afghan, and we keep a wool blanket on the boat in case it was to get extremely cold. We really haven't had to use it. But it's a good thing to throw over top if you do need it. We'll put a link in the description. A couple of interesting articles on really warm sheets and also on really warm blankets so that you can explore that if you're interested.
Carol favours the type that covered in kind of fluff.
Yeah,
You know,
soft,
the
fuzzy.
sort of the teddy covered material. And I'm indifferent to them unless it's a very, very cold
Unless he
night.
climbs in the bed and his feet are cold.
Yeah.
Then he's not
Then
indifferent
it can be
anymore.
useful. And that is something worth mentioning, actually, because in a narrowboat, the coldest place is the floor. You know, sitting here as we are, you might have slippers on.
I have my slippers on. I wear my slippers.
I never wear slippers.
He has slippers.
I have some, but I don't wear them. And I usually walk around in socks, and I can definitely, if I'm standing in one place, I can definitely feel the cold from the floor. But, you know, that's easily solved. I could just go and put my slippers on.
Exactly.
Yeah. So for all you fans of Tilly, here she is napping
Getting her beauty sleep.
underneath the dinette.
Her favorite spot.
This is her favourite spot. So you see we've got it nice and insulated for her under there, so that if she wants to lie somewhere cold, she'll just come and lie on the hard floor here. Won't you, Till? Eh? Say hello to all your fans. But if I said you want a treat, now she's interested. So thanks for watching,
Thanks for watching.
and we will see you soon.
See you soon.
Take care, stay safe.
Bye.